reading is from the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 1 to 10. The Good Shepherd and his sheep. Very truly I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees did not understand what he was saying to them. Therefore, Jesus said again, "Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Welcome to Act Together, Orsworth, Cossall and Trowell churches together. Welcome from my Sunday ministry. Today the reading is taken from John's Gospel, and it is the classic chapter, John chapter 10, 1 to 10, where we hear of Jesus being the shepherd. Now on my table in front of me, guess what I've got? I've got some walls. And I've also got, guess what? Won't be right, some sheep. I dug them out of the attic because I remember we got them. I've also got something else in our reading, which was a gate. In our reading today, Jesus likens himself to two things, a gate and also the shepherd. Let's take with the gate first of all. He says, I am the gate. The gate. But first of all, he says we're all like sheep. We've all gone astray. We've all gone doing our own thing. But Jesus says that he is the good shepherd, and he brings the sheep into the pen. Why does the shepherd take the sheep and put them in the pen? To protect them. You see, nighttime in Palestine was a time when the predators were out at night trying to find some nice supper to have in the form of his sheep and goats. So his flocks, the shepherd would bring the sheep and he would sit at the gate. It wouldn't be a gate like we have here with a sort of traditional bar gate, but he would be the gate. He would sit there with a slingshot and a stick, and any predator came near, he would guard them. But he says, first of all, he goes to get his sheep. And he goes and gets his sheep, and he walks out to find them. And he says, my sheep know my voice. Isn't that a lovely understanding with God, that we can know his voice? The sheep know the shepherd's voice. We can learn to know what is God saying to us in our lives. A man who enters the gate and climbs over the wall is a robber. You can't get in unless you get through the gate. So first of all, each one of us need to have Jesus as our gate. We need to have opened the doors of our lives and said, Lord, will you come in? Will you come and stand by my gate in my life? Because my life at the moment is a bit of a mess, or whatever you're going through. Or I'm not religious, or I'm not unsure about God. Whatever your thinking is, just stop there. This is God. He wants to take protection on your life. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. The Good Shepherd, Psalm 23. God says that he will protect us. Evil's going to come. We've got wrong things in the world. COVID virus is not right. It brings death. Jesus says when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will not fear. You can walk through it because the Good Shepherd, who is God, will shepherd you. So first of all, we need to open our lives and allow the shepherd to come into our lives. But he doesn't leave us in this nice, comfortable pen and lead us by still pastures. He calls us out and he leads us out. He goes before us. He leads his sheep out and he says, now you're mine. I'm going before you to prepare a way, a place for you. Today we're looking at where is God's calling you? Where is your new place going to be? And I ain't talking about heaven. Once we have Jesus in our life, we go to heaven. We know where we're going. But what I'm talking about here is, what is the Good Shepherd leading you to now? What is your place? Today in our churches, we're looking at vocations. We're looking at calling to God's church to be people who can help sheep discover a new place to be, a new journey. And it's important for me as a church leader to ensure that other leaders are being trained. And that is why this week I have just signed a form for the diocese to accept one of our members in the churches for local ministry. There is also in the diocese a course called the Real Life course. And it helps us look at what our way is going to be, what's our direction. And I encourage you to have a look at the Real Life course. You can go onto the diocese website and find out all about it. But it's about being leaders, but more importantly, it's about how we can also discern God in each of our calling. As he, the Good Shepherd, leads us to the schools, the hospitals, the job that you are in. You might say to me, yeah, but Paul, I don't work anymore and I don't do that. What can I do? I'm stuck at home. I can only do this. Well, all I would do is say, look at Captain Tom. No one is too old to do what God wants us to do if we're willing to be led. So don't stay in the same place that you've been doing all these years. Allow the shepherd to lead you, because we are all like sheep. We're always going astray. But the Good Shepherd says, I will always lead you and I'll always protect you. My sheep know my voice. Please, please, why not learn to listen to God's voice and say, Lord, where are you calling me today? Many blessings. Thank you.